Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Biz Chats with Immortal Monkey. I am so excited to be live with you guys for the first time ever using StreamYard. So I will apologize beforehand if we have any sort of technical hitches, but so far, so good. Okay, so we are starting the day with a win. For anybody that is joining us for the first time, welcome. My name is Estelle Keeber. I am the founder of Immortal Monkey, which is a support platform for businesses from startup to level up. And today, I got it right, Iarchy.
You did.
Anne is one of the contributors to our How to Survive Lockdown as a Small Business Guide. And for anybody that hasn't yet seen this, it's been out for a couple of months. This is actually version 3 because we have now been in lockdown for a year almost. It's hard to believe, but this is version 3. And what we did was bring together, I think we had over 15 incredible experts that shared their tips on how you could survive lockdown as a small business. And we covered everything from finance to mindset to social media. And today we have Anne joining us to talk about her article in the lockdown guide. So, welcome, Anne. Please do tell everybody who you are and what it is that you do.
So thanks for having me. My name is Anne Iarchy. I help busy women, especially self-employed and professional women, to gain confidence, energy, and self-esteem through weight loss and healthy lifestyle. I use the 5 simple step methods, which I developed over the years. And I just make sure that weight loss is not an issue anymore, which unfortunately for many during lockdown is has been a real struggle with emotional eating, comfort eating, having the kids at home, not having your routine, the gym's closed and everything else. So it's been a real struggle for many, many people.
I know for a fact myself that my eating habits have totally gone out of the window. All of our routine. I think this is the thing. Speaking as a mum in business, this is one of the things that I am super excited about. The fact that the kids are going to go back to school, we're going to have more routine. It really has. Lockdown has had an impact on so many different areas of your life. And, your health and your wellness is most definitely something that has an impact when it comes to your business. So, having you contribute to the lockdown guide was absolutely crucial because obviously taking care of your health right now, I don't think we have prioritized it. We've been in lockdown. People that would usually be out exercising are probably not exercising. The routines in eating patterns have all changed. So, what would be, if you were going to give us some tips for how we can stay healthy? We're just about to come out of lockdown and things are starting to get back to normal. So, what would you say if we're going to start some, better routines as we lift the lockdown? What would be your tips for how we can get into better routines for living a healthier lifestyle, working at home?
So as we're getting out of it is, now again, looking again at how your life is changing. So what does your life look like right now? And I think over the next few months, it's going to change every month, probably with new restrictions being lifted, hopefully. So every month, I would say at the beginning of the month, look at what your lives look like. Are your kids back at school? Can you go back to the gym or not? Can you do certain things? And then rebuild your routines.
Be
And I think
flexible. Yeah.
be flexible 100% because that's going to change now from month to month moving forward. So it's about reflecting again. What does it look like? Using your diary is one of the tips that I use a lot. Is what does my day look like today and tomorrow? So you can plan, even if it's
That,
just a day ahead, because that's
that
going to
is
change.
that is one of my top tips. So When I know that I have an evening live or an evening meeting, I make sure the day before that I've cooked something that's nice and quick and simple, a bolognese that I could prepare and leave on the stove, or, a quick pasta bake that I can, just throw it all in and pop it in the oven. So that for me, is like, I'm a bit of an OCD freak when it comes to planning. I don't know about anybody else. I know that we've got a few people watching now. So if you have any tips on, what you think is working for you, we would love to hear. So please do post it into the comments. And for anybody that hasn't yet seen, excuse me, hasn't yet seen our Immortal Monkey Surviving Lockdown Guide, you can go over to the website, which is flashing up. The power of technology, which is flashing up at the bottom of the screen now. If you head on over to our website, click sign up, and you will be able to download, I think it's about a 30-page guide or a 40-page guide. There is so much value and content in there. It's well worth heading over and taking a look at. And you can find out more about what we're talking about with Anne today, which for those of you that are just joining us, we are talking about how you can stay fit and healthy whilst you are working from home and with all of the new routines. So, as well as, planning ahead and putting things into your diary, what would be your next top tip?
The next uptick coming out of lockdown, I think we're all going to be in a stage of let's try and catch up from the missed time that we had, the business that potentially didn't go as well as you wanted, and you're trying to catch up. Still take some me time and take breaks, because that is massively, massively important. Scheduling regular breaks, scheduling some time for yourself. Business is massively important. I'm not saying it isn't. Obviously, that's what helps us survive in life and pay the bills. But if you're not taking time for yourself, you're going to risk burning out, but you're also going to feel, deflated, feeling the anger and frustration of, everything comes first and I'm staying last. So take some me time along the way, take some breaks, go out for 5-10 minutes, see the sunshine. Spring is here, watch nature, developing. There's just so much that we can do, and we absolutely have to take that time, because otherwise, actually, business is going to suffer no matter how hard you try.
I remember I went through a burnout about 3 years ago. Totally knocked me off my feet. I ended up almost being hospitalized. Doctors thought that I had pneumonia. It was absolutely horrific. So I went through that. And then I think it was about last year or about 18 months ago, I started to go through the same thing. And I knew what was happening inside my body. I felt weak. I knew that I wasn't working the way that, physically, my body, my mind wasn't working the way it should. And the one thing that somebody said to me that has always stuck with me since is the fact that if I didn't take time to stop and recharge myself, I wouldn't have the choice. And
Yeah.
I was panicking as a business owner. Like you say, we've all got so many things that we need to do. So if this resonates with you, I don't know how you can like or, show any emotion here on StreamYard, but if this resonates with you, because I know this is something that I struggled with so bad. There is so much going on. You want to continue to grow your business. You want to be there with your kids. You want to be the perfect girlfriend, wife, friend, neighbor, all the rest of it. And like you say, you feel that you're trying to do everything at once. Your body will eventually decide that enough is enough if you don't stop and take that time. And that was one of the most,
Mm.
you know, like it stayed with me. It really has stayed with me. And I talk about it a lot in the fact that if I hadn't have stopped and took some time out and started to delegate things or prioritize, and like you say, put things into my calendar and plan ahead, I wouldn't have had the choice. My body would have just given up. I'd have ended up in bed for a whole week. And when I had burnout before, I couldn't move. I could not move. My brain wouldn't work, my body wouldn't work, and I was no use to anyone. So I think if anybody can learn anything from my experience, don't make yourself go through a burnout before you realize how serious it is. There's so many things, like you're saying, that are really, really simple. And I'm still the same. I'm I'm one of these people that are quite honest and open, and I don't try and, you know, say one thing and do another. I am still a workaholic. To get me out of this space is really hard work. But like you said, even if it's, I'm going to go to the shops, I'm going to take the dog for a 5 minute walk. Going outside yesterday, the boys were like, Mum, look, there's flowers in the garden.
Yeah,
And we've got daffodils coming up and some lovely spring flowers. And like you say, those little things, I think, especially when we've been in lockdown for so long, you know, those are the things that we do have access to. We can't obviously go off on holidays and, you know, we can't go too far away, but what we can do is appreciate and make the most of what we have around us. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm working on that too. I'm working very hard on that.
And
So
coming to that as well is, take short, when you make your cup of tea or your coffee or whatever, take those 5 minutes that, the water is boiling or the kettle is boiling, do a few stretches, a few exercises, press ups against the kitchen counter, a few squats. The gyms are still closed till the middle of April. I always say something is better than nothing. So even if you do a few things throughout the day, it's always better than nothing. We've got this thing that we've got this belief that, a workout has to be an hour, only because when we go to an exercise class, it's generally an hour. When we work with a personal trainer, it's generally an hour. It doesn't have to be 5, 10, 15 minutes. Generally, when you only plan 5, you end up doing 10 anyway. Something is always better than nothing.
yeah, and I think that is a great way to kind of finish up our life on everything, really. To be fair,
Mm.
something is better than nothing. So even if you only get one thing ticked off your list today, give yourself a high five because you are taking a step forward. And if you would like to take more steps forward and survive lockdown, oh, my dog's trying to nudge my arm here. She's going to knock me off my chair. If you would like to find out more ways on how you can survive lockdown as a small business, then please do head on over to the website. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, www.immortalmonkey.co.uk, and you will be able to download our free guide on how you can survive lockdown, which Anne has so graciously been able to contribute to. You can also head on over to one of our Facebook communities. We have a dedicated business Facebook community called the Immortal Monkey Official Facebook group and page. So you can head on over there for lots of other business tips and support. And where can everyone find out more about you?
So there's my website, which is anneiarchy.com. But I also have a Facebook group, Facebook community, where I coach people. It's a place where people can ask questions. We share recipes. We share tips on how to stay healthy. Yesterday, we talked about, it was International Women's Day. So we talked about what legacy did your mom leave you when it comes to health and well-being. So there's lots of things happening there. And the group is called It's Not About the Scales.
I love that. Anne, thank you so much for joining me. I think we can say my first ever StreamYard was a success.
It
So thank
was.
you so much for being here with me. Thank you again for being such an incredible contributor to the lockdown guide. And if anybody has any questions at all, please do feel free to message Anne or myself, and we will be more than happy to help you. But in the meantime, head on over, check out Anne's amazing Facebook group, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Anne, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.